Imagine a bright sunny day in a busy city where everyone is in a hurry. The streets are filled with cars, laughter, and the sweet smell of fresh candy. But today, something very unusual is about to happen. Something that will change both a millionaire's day and how he sees the world. Welcome to our story. Today, we dive into a tale that mixes heartfelt honesty, surprising words, and a lesson that even grown-ups can learn. Stick with us till the very end, because what happens here is a mystery of human kindness and a twist that will leave you thinking. On one side of our story is a young, cheerful candy girl. She isn't just any candy seller. She's full of life, smiles, and honest words. Every day she stands by her small stall on a busy street, offering bright, tasty candies to people passing by. Even though she comes from a humble background, she has a big heart and a sharp tongue that speaks the truth, even when it sounds unexpected. Her story is one of courage. The candy girl thinks the world deserves honesty, and sometimes that honesty comes in the form of a brave sentence. One sunny morning, as she was handing over a caramel treat to a little kid, her eyes caught someone different, a well-dressed, serious-looking man who seemed to be lost in thought. This man was no ordinary person. He was a millionaire, a rich businessman known for his fast cars, expensive suits, and a mind busy with big deals. But in his heart, he often wondered about life beyond money. He never thought about feelings or simple truths until fate set our paths to cross. He had heard stories of the kind people at this very street, but he had never stopped to listen. That morning, as he walked past the candy stall, he expected nothing more than a quick good day or a small nod. He was in a rush, thinking about investments, stocks, and his next big project. Little did he know today would become a turning point in his life. As fate would have it, the millionaire stopped near the candy stall. He admired the colorful display of candies, from lollipops to chocolate bars, and decided to treat himself with something sweet. The moment he reached out for a candy, the candy girl looked into his eyes and, with surprising courage and honesty, said, "You're just like my dad." Imagine the shock. The words were so simple, yet they struck deep. In that instant, time seemed to slow down. The millionaire, used to hearing flattery or polite comments, was frozen. He wasn't expecting a familiar, personal remark coming from such an unexpected source. What did she mean by, "You're just like my dad"? At first, the millionaire did not know how to react. His mind raced. Was it a friendly comment, or was it a hidden lesson? Did the candy girl really know him? Or was she just saying something to make him stop and think? As seconds turned into minutes, or so it felt, the silence between them grew thick. The candy girl, confident and sincere, waited for his response. The street noise faded into a quiet background hum as everyone around watched this unusual exchange. Even the little kids who loved the candy paused, curious about this grown-up moment of truth. Now let's break down the magic behind the phrase, "You're just like my dad." It might sound simple, but it carried a deep meaning. Personal experience. The candy girl's dad might have been a man who was kind, honest, and warm. Perhaps he was not like the typical stern or distant figure you might see on TV. Maybe he had traits that many admired, like thinking deeply about life, showing care to others, or even making silly jokes at just the right moment. When she saw the millionaire, she noticed those familiar qualities in him, even if he didn't know it himself. Reflection and honesty. Sometimes a comment like that forces us to take a pause and reflect. For the millionaire, it was a wake-up call. In his polished world of money and business, He had forgotten the simple values that make life beautiful: honesty, family love, and genuine connection. The Candy Girl, with her fearless words, reminded him that, deep down, he was much like someone who had loved and guided him, a person he might have strayed away from in the hustle for success. A lesson from humble beginnings. The Candy Girl's comment also reflected her own life. Living a life with fewer luxuries, she grew up absorbing the values of her family, learning that true worth is measured by love and respect, not by the size of a bank account. In saying, "You're just like my dad," she wasn't insulting him. She was connecting him to a world where love and truth matter more than wealth. Let's add a tiny bit of technical talk here, in simple terms. In psychology, there's something called the mirror effect. It means that sometimes when we see something in others, it makes us think about ourselves. The Candy Girl saw in the millionaire some familiar behaviors: kindness mixed with a touch of strictness. This is like looking in a mirror and seeing your own reflection, even if you did not expect it. Researchers say that honest remarks can fix our inner emotions, making us realize parts of ourselves we might have ignored, and that's exactly what happened on that busy street. For the millionaire, those few words were both a compliment and a gentle push. Imagine if your best friend pointed out something about you that you never considered before. At first, you might feel startled, a bit confused, and even embarrassed. That's what the millionaire felt: a bubbling mix of surprise, curiosity, and a pinch of regret for not taking a softer look at life. The silence was heavy as he tried to understand the Candy Girl's words. He remembered his childhood, the lessons his own father taught him, and suddenly all the fancy deals and business ideas did not seem as important. It was as if a key had been turned in his mind, a door to a room he had long forgotten existed. People watching the scene started whispering and smiling. Some folks thought the Candy Girl had pulled a little prank, while others believed that honesty sometimes comes in unexpected packages. Even the little children, who found the idea of grown-ups getting surprised quite funny, giggled softly. It was a shared moment of learning for everyone. An honest remark, no matter how simple, can break the ice and change hearts. Let's take a moment to laugh together. Imagine if the roles were reversed. If a millionaire in a business suit said to a candy seller, "You're just like my mom." Such a comment might leave the candy seller scratching her head, wondering what he meant. In our story, however, the Candy Girl's words were a light, funny, and yet powerful jab that made the millionaire's eyes widen and his mind spin. It's a bit like when you open a book expecting a small story and then find a huge adventure inside. After a few moments of silence, the millionaire finally gathered his thoughts. His voice, though a little shaky at first, began to murmur, "Millionaire, I, I never thought of myself that way. My dad, I used to see him as my hero, but also as someone with strict rules and simple truths. I have become someone else over the years." The Candy Girl smiled gently and continued, as if she had been waiting for him to speak. "Candy Girl, maybe, sir, you still have his heart. Maybe you just forgot how to see the world like he did: simple, honest, and full of love." This conversation was not just a passing remark, it was a turning point. The millionaire's eyes began to fill with memories of his childhood, of time spent with his own father, laughing, learning, and sometimes even crying together. In that moment, his riches and success felt less important than the warmth of honest human connection. The dialogue went on for several minutes. The millionaire started sharing bits of his story: how, in his youth, he dreamed of being kind and genuine, but somehow got lost in the challenges of running a big business. He talked about the many meetings and phone calls that often left him lonely. He admitted that deep down, he missed the nurturing voice of his own father, a voice that always spoke simple truths like the one he had just heard. The Candy Girl, in turn, explained that she had grown up learning that true wisdom often comes from the simplest words. Sometime, she said, all it takes is one honest comment to remind us of who we really are. It wasn't just a remark, it was a lesson in humility, love, and the power of simple truth. The moment left the millionaire deeply changed. He started to see the value in humility and kindness, a value that money could never buy. He realized that success wasn't just about big deals and fancy cars, but about the small moments and honest words that connect people. His heart softened, and he decided that from that day on, he would try to put people before profit, to listen more, and to always remember the simple lessons of his life. Think of it like this. Imagine you are playing a game, and you suddenly make a mistake that makes your friend laugh, but in a kind way. Although you feel a bit embarrassed, you also learn something funny and useful from that moment. The Candy Girl's words worked in a similar way for the millionaire. For example, when you accidentally spill your juice and then laugh at yourself, you learn to be humble and to not take things too seriously. That's what happened here. An honest slip of words led to a big understanding. Even if you are rich like a millionaire on paper, it's the simple lessons of life that make you truly rich inside. Did you know that scientists study how our brain reacts to honest words? They say that when someone tells you something truthful, it can light up different parts of your brain. This means that a genuine comment can help people remember important parts of their lives and even change the way they think. It isn't magic. It's just how the human mind loves to learn and grow with every kind word. After this memorable encounter, the day moved on. The millionaire walked away from the candy stall with a changed heart. He decided to take a break from his busy schedule and even went to visit old family photos and letters in his mansion. Those little treasures reminded him of the past, and soon he began to make small changes in how he treated people. He started writing kind notes to his employees and even surprised them with small treats now and then, just like the Candy Girl's sweet candies. Many say that this simple moment turned him into a gentler, more caring person. Even his business meetings began to have a friendlier tone as he tried to bring the same warmth he'd felt that day into every conversation he had. Meanwhile, the Candy Girl continued with her daily routine. She still stood by her small stall, handing out candies and smiles. But now there was a twinkle in her eye because she knew that sometimes real change starts with one honest remark. Her words had not only made a millionaire stop and think, but also reminded everyone around her that simple truths matter. She proved that you don't need a lot of money to make a big difference in someone's day. The story teaches us that honesty is a powerful gift. It doesn't matter if you are a candy seller on a busy street or a millionaire in a towering office. The truth can reach you in the most unexpected ways. The Candy Girl's brave words were like a mirror reflecting the millionaire's hidden feelings. For him, it was a lesson in what truly matters in life: love, family, and a simple, honest heart. Sometimes one small moment can change everything. It's like when you learn to ride a bike. At first, it might seem scary, but that one push from someone you trust can give you the confidence to ride freely. The millionaire, with all his success, got one unexpected push that reminded him to be true to himself. And that lesson, as simple as it may sound, turned his entire day and maybe even his life around. Let's have a little laugh together. Imagine if every time you got too serious or too worried about school tests, a friend came over and said something so simple, "You're just like my dad, always thinking too hard." It might make you blush, but then you'd also smile and feel a bit lighter, right? That's the kind of magic that an honest comment can bring. It reminds us that life is full of unexpected humor and that sometimes we all need a little reminder to take it easy and care for each other. I truly believe that moments like these show us what is most important. Sometimes grown-ups get lost in the maze of work, money, and busy schedules, and they forget the simple joys of life. The Candy Girl's remark was not mean or rude. It was a call for the millionaire to remember his roots and the values that shape a kind heart. I think every one of us, no matter how old or rich we are, can learn a lesson from this. It shows that genuine care and honesty can bridge gaps between people from very different worlds. Have you ever had a moment when someone said something that made you stop and really think? Maybe it was a kind word from a friend or even a funny comment from one of your parents. Those moments stick with you and help you grow. Like when you learn that a mistake isn't the end of the world but a step towards something better. This story reminds us that every encounter has a lesson hiding inside it. And sometimes that lesson comes from the most unexpected people, a candy girl at a busy street. As our story comes to a close, remember that true wisdom often comes wrapped in the simplest words. The millionaire's encounter with the candy girl teaches us that whether you are rich or not, the heart's value lies in honesty, simplicity, and the warmth we share with everyone around us. So if you enjoyed this tale of surprises, heartfelt truths, and tiny moments that change lives, please do something amazing for our channel. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with your friends so that more people can remember to listen to their hearts. And before you go, check out our next video on the end screen, where we dive into another story of everyday magic, one that will show how even a small gesture can start a big chain reaction. Thank you for watching, and always remember, the next life-changing moment could be just one honest word away.